Hello and welcome to This is Media City. I'm Stephen Chapman and today I am joined by the man behind the brilliantly named animation studio ThunderHawk. Now Matt, you will definitely have seen his work on social media. He's hung the North Face jackets off landmarks around the world and they look amazing. Also today we will be taking up a previous guest's comments about the best cup of coffee at Media City and we'll be finding out if she's right. So keep watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and comment. Okay, Matt, welcome to This is Media City podcast. Just tell me a bit about yourself first of all, because you run ThunderHawk's, that's right, isn't it?
That's right, yeah, ThunderHawk's my little startup. It's about a year old now, into the second year, and yeah, just riding the wave, and yeah, it's a little animation studio.
Fab. Well, we'll get more into it, but I'm gonna try and warm you up first.
Okay.
These are our magic cards. It's just a either or question, yes or no question.
Okay.
Pick a card, any card.
Okay. Multi-screen or locked in?
So when you're watching something on the telly, all the way in, or are you just messaging, watching something else at the same time?
I think my wife would say that I'm definitely multi-screen. Yeah, put that phone away. I'm the type of person that gets distracted very easily. Yeah.
Fabulous. I'll give you one more.
Okay. Importance of working in the north. Yeah, big one for me. Yeah, I absolutely love the fact that I'm Manchester based, and I've done the London stint 1 or 2 times. I'm not very interested in that. I'm very proud to be Manchester based and northern, yeah, for sure.
One of the exciting things about This is Media City podcast is that our production team are all graduates of Salford University and undergraduates of Salford University, and they're the ones that keep me in order when I fluff my lines and things like that. You are also a graduate of Salford University, aren't you?
Yeah. So I was part of the first cohort to be in Media City. 2011, I went in there, did sound and video tech. I'm not sure that course exists anymore as it was, but yeah, it was all like a whole new world, to be honest. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and it was like a multidisciplinary course where you got to like try out loads of different things. Got to do like studio production, TV production, web design, loads of different things, dipping your toes into. So, but Media City was a very different place back then, to be honest.
What was different about it?
Well, it was just basically first year students and like BBC suits, and there was kind of nothing else here really back then. Like there was no
the pre-Greg's time.
Exactly. Yeah, there was no dockyard. You know, you couldn't grab a beer easily really. We could go to Lime Bar, I guess, on the other side of the Lowry, but yeah, it was a very very different place back then, and yeah, it felt new, and it felt like we were guinea pigs a little bit. But I really enjoyed my time, and to be honest, it really helped me figure out like my direction and what things I was interested in doing, really.
Why did you? I mean, was it because it was new that you signed up, or was it just it was there?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, they offered like music production as well as TV production, and like I didn't really know if I wanted to be a musician when I was like 18 and all that. You know, you have those sort of like rock star dreams and stuff, and it was just good for me to try out different things, really. And yeah, I'm from Lancaster originally. I'm from the Lake District, so and all my family's Cumbrian, so they didn't want me moving like really far away. And Manchester's like just perfect, really. And I love the city anyway. So
you got some water. It's not like Windermere or anything like that.
Yeah,
there's some water outside.
There's plenty of rainfall, isn't there? So yeah.
So you came to Media City. What happened next? Because I mean, let's talk about ThunderHawk first of all, which I really wish had a sound effect every time I said it. Where did the name come from?
Basically, I liked studios like Golden Wolf, Giant Ant, Mighty Giant in Manchester, and I kind of wanted I just wanted a mythical creature, to be honest. So I came up with ThunderHawk. Yeah.
And what do you do?
So we do animation, visual effects. And really, it's short form animated content for brands. Really, like in a nutshell, that's what we want to do. But we're not really like tied to any particular style or medium. You know, we've done stuff for web, we've done stuff for TV, we've done stuff for social. We're now getting into virtual production. So it's like there's not really like a pigeonholed thing that ThunderHawk does, and I don't want it to ever be like that. I want us to be like really varied and to work on things that are just exciting, really.
The one of the, I know you've done a lot of things, but one of the things that springs out that people will probably immediately recognise is the North Face jacket on was it Big Ben?
That's right, yeah.
So how did that come about?
Yeah, so when ThunderHawk first started, it was actually just me as a freelancer. So I was just working as a freelancer solo. And so I used to just plug into big brands and agencies just with my skill set. And so I worked in-house with the JD Motion team to pull that one off. And it was actually a whole campaign. It wasn't just one deliverable. We did the Eiffel Tower, we did Oxford Street in London, the storefront. And I don't think anybody really expected that to like go off the way it did, to be honest. But I did all the roto and the compositing.
Go on, tell us what the roto and because there were going to be people from across MediaCity and beyond watching this, and there are so many technical things involved in roto and compositing.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of take that for granted sometimes. I'm just like technical, even though sometimes I don't think I am. That kind of imposter syndrome kicks in sometimes. But yeah, so the visual effects element of sticking that jacket into the scene and making it real and making it feel like it's actually there. That was the part that basically I took on.
So it's that kind of, it looks like the coat's being put on and it feels like the ripples of it rather than just it goes dunk.
There's a super talented 3D artist called Chris who did the jacket in 3D, and we had to sort of like, figure out how that actually worked and how it fits on a building, and that was a whole process in itself. But then when it comes to executing it and sticking it into the footage and making it feel like it's there, that's the part where I got involved. But yeah, off the back of that, the faux out of home kind of trend was massive last year, and it was a big one for us because we got to work on loads of cool brands doing it.
Go on, tell us more. Can you tell us any more?
Yeah, well, I think all those NDAs are sorted now. So we did the Furb tree for Christmas. So we made like Christmas trees all around London that were made out of Furbies, which was a little bit weird in concept, but that's kind of like, that's the way I like to work. Someone brings me like a crazy idea and goes, how do we do this? Like, how does it look? We also did an apple on a crane in Dublin for Orchard Thieves. I'm trying to think of some other ones. We did a ferry bus for Pets at Home.
So the crane existed, but the apple didn't. Is that right? Or?
That's right. I mean, we ended up replacing parts of the crane as well in 3D. But yeah, it was just a crane on a construction site, and we added this giant apple onto it. So yeah.
So we go on those bus as well.
And there was a ferry bus. Yeah, Black Friday for Pets at Home, and we did a big ferry bus. And it was that was quite challenging actually. 3D fur is more challenging than you kind of expect it to be, to be honest. But yeah,
because it's got to look so real.
That's the point. That's the point. I mean, sometimes if the ideas are really weird, you kind of can't really get past it to a certain extent. But you just need that initial spark of, is that real? That kind of WTF like, is that real? That double take. That's all you really need to
because it's like the Pixar thing with the Monsters Inc. and seeing all the little hair on the thing. I suppose you've now got those kind of but sky high.
The amazing thing with 3D animation specifically is that the tools just keep getting better every single year, and it is democratized to a certain level, and anybody can access like amazing like physics and stuff and realistic effects. So I just like playing with all that stuff, to be honest. Yeah.
So at the moment at MediaCity, you started as a one-man band, freelancer plugged into brands.
Yeah.
You've now got ThunderHawk. Pause just in case a sound effect goes in there. And is it a bigger team now, or is it still you? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a huge team. I've got a core team of guys that I work with. A lot of them remote. And so I do, in the long term, kind of want to build like a core team here at MediaCity, and not necessarily have to rely on everybody being remote all the time. And but yeah, we're growing. It's still mainly me. I'm still the only person here. Everybody else is just chilling at home, basically. Yeah.
And this new space we've got now, these content studio, you may have heard at the beginning of the podcast some sounds off. That's because when we're recording this, they're testing the sound for the big launch when hundreds of people are going to turn up and go, oh wow, this is kind of cool. But you were the first in. You've got your desk there. You've got your picture of ThunderHawk logo on the table. Pause again. It's quite an exciting time, I imagine, for you.
I walked in this morning, the desk wasn't there. So,
fair enough. You're not being kicked out, though.
So I've got a little makeshift desk at the minute. But, the content studio, just in general, I was sort of just in a co-working space. And the opportunity came to have a look. And I just thought, this is going to be the future for content creators, for one-man bands, freelancers, even for small agencies, to come in and live in this space. And so that's why I wanted to be the first one in, really. You know, I was pretty adamant I wanted to come down, and fair play to the guys at MediaCity for letting me be the first one in and to try it out and stress test it a little bit. Yeah.
And I suppose I know you're first one in at the moment. How do you hopefully see it in 2, 3, 6 months' time in that space? Are you expecting like walls down and just people I don't know, you kind of imagining, I don't know, San Francisco kind of, it's that kind of getting all together vibe.
I'm wanting a hub of people who want to collaborate. You know, there's someone over here who does animation, there's someone over here who does game dev, whatever it is. You know, we have influences in the space, and everybody can link up and create that like web, and everybody leans on each other. Because at the moment, I kind of I'm enjoying being in MediaCity. It was kind of weird coming back, but I'm enjoying it, and I think we just need a bit more momentum of that, especially on the ground level. Of everybody sort of like leaning on each other and chipping in on stuff, yeah.
And it's interesting what you said about how MediaCity has changed over the years. And that is one of the things we're going to do on the This is MediaCity podcast. We've got a lovely studio right here, but let's get out and about and see some of the businesses. Now, those of you who caught one of our earlier episodes, you would have heard Welsh-Ukrainian pop star Noel say this.
I'm going to do best coffee place in MediaCity because I'm very fussy with my coffee. And it's the coffee shop that's next to the Costa, opposite Host. I can't remember what it's called.
Blanco Nero.
Is it?
Italian.
Bougie. It's just bougie.
Cool.
I think that's the best tasting coffee that I've had so far.
So my production team sent me out to find out if she was right. Welcome to Blanco Nero, the home of the best coffee at MediaCity, and I can say that for sure because I have been taught on this amazing machine how to make one. More on that in a minute. You'll also work out which one of these two is mine and which comes from this expert here.
My name is Brandon.
And how long have you been coffeeing?
I've been coffeeing for on and off around 4 years.
Am I going to do stuff and you pointing me in the right direction?
It's all yours, and I will just point.
I feel that this needs to be held first.
For sure.
Yes?
So, pop it into the grinder, and this is all pre-weighted, so if you let go, and then it'll give it about 5 seconds, it'll start grinding, and it'll stop once it's 18 grams. Pick her up, and give it just a little tap on the side.
Yeah, that's already lost a few grams, that. Sorry,
that's all
whoever
right.
I'm serving this to.
You want to just press it in, just your body weight, just lean into it. There you go, that's it. Perfect.
Oh,
and then,
do you want to see that? That's perfect.
And that angle, that's the one.
And like that, locks in.
Cup under.
Bash. Red button.
All right, onto your milk.
Oh, right, I'm not watching that. I was so impressed with myself there. I was just kind of sitting back.
You want to fill your milk up until just the bottom of the spout there.
There's coffee coming out. There is coffee coming out.
You want to just give it a little purge, just twist it. Nice, and now up.
Yeah. Like that.
Good, and now pull it down just a smidge, and now up.
Yeah.
There you go. And now the milk it'll do itself. And what you want is to keep hold of it until
it's quite hot now.
It's about there. Give it a bang. What it does is it brings all the bubbles to the top.
Oh, it has, hasn't it?
And so give it a little swirl.
It's impressive. I know you can't see it, cameras, but this is unbelievable.
Great milk.
Great milk. Getting a bit more nervous. This has all been machine related.
Nothing to be nervous about.
Okay, I'm just writing MediaCity in it, yeah?
Just write MediaCity and it'll do itself.
So what am I doing?
Perfect. Keep going.
like that. No.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Look at that.
How good is that?
You see that? I've done the guitar there. There's the top of the thing, and the strings go along there.
Abstract.
I think he told me how to do it differently because made mine look more rubbish. I think I was sabotaged.
You were sabotaged.
Just for reference, mine is this one. That's mighty impressive.
Thank you so much.
And if you want to get involved, either sitting on the couch or inviting us into your space, please email us at thisismediacity@39pictures.com. MediaCity, I think I can safely say, has had or is having to go through a change, because if you think about when you started at Salford University, as you said, it was students and suits.
Yeah.
That's not the case anymore.
No.
But again, it might not be the case that people realise that there are people working in game dev, and I don't imagine you touch broadcast that much, your company.
No, not much. We've done some TV ads, but it seems to be that's sort of dying off a little bit for us. I think last year was maybe the first year where I didn't really do a huge TV campaign. It was all mainly sort of like web and social and YouTube and stuff like that. And so the landscape is changing, and so I think having a space here that can accommodate the way it's changing and the way that people want to work is going to be massive. But yeah, there was no bars and restaurants like back then. It's kind of mad now. Like you could just go Seven Brothers and grab a pint. You know, it wasn't that easy back then, and now it's come on so much. You know.
And are you expecting a case where it literally is a case where you can just pick and choose because I know you have very specialist bits within your role, but you might have a producer you want to work with, a director, but they might all be in the space, or and we can kind of create a MediaCity almost agency almost with the way you're working. Yeah,
well, I've sort of dabbled a little bit recently in the idea of a collective. You know, and how that works, and actually, you know, you start off with just a few skill sets, but actually when you plug into a collective, there's a huge list of skill sets that you can offer, and everybody can just help each other out. And I think that's a bit of like a northern spirit anyway, really, is that chipping in together and really lifting everybody up, you know.
But you've been working for big brands already. What do you think a collective kind of get it even bigger, or just more work? Or
yeah, I mean the stuff we do is project based, you know, so I'm lucky to have worked on those big brands, but I just like working on individual projects. And so the way I see it is, you know, you just keep that stream of projects coming in, and everybody can benefit from it, really.
And what's your goal with all that? Because it sounds to me, and we've only been speaking for a few minutes, but it sounds to me that innovation and pushing yourself seems to be part of your drive, rather than necessarily that big mansion and boat and the house in Windermere or whatever it might be.
I just want to do cool shit, basically. That's all I want to do, really. Like that's always been the goal. Even when I was sort of starting out, when I came out of uni, I was just making music videos because I wanted to make music videos. I wasn't really making any money from it, and then I ended up getting into the industry off the back of just, you know, my own hard work and my own sort of diligence, really. And that's all I've ever really wanted to do. So I've had the exposure to the big brands, the big agencies and stuff, but then when you work for yourself, you've just got to go back to what you actually want to do, and that's just make cool stuff. And if it means playing with new innovative tools and technologies, then that's one aspect of it. If it's collaborating with new people you've never met before and just trying to have an impact with them, and you know, the work doesn't necessarily have to be the impact, but that working relationship could be the impact that you have with somebody. Like that's sort of more where my ethos is. And for ThunderHawk, if it grows, it grows. If it scales, it scales. It's more for me about just making sure we still do cool stuff. That's it, really.
There's a change in the way people think about success, isn't there? Because to an extent, you kind of sing from the same sin sheet as me, that success people think is monetary, but sometimes success is improving on the thing you did last time, or pushing your own boundaries and wanting to come into work the next day.
Yeah, I mean, I was at Motion North last night, and there's a really interesting talk by Emmanuel Colombo, who's like a quite famous animator. He's worked for like Google and all the big LA agencies, and you know, he put up his actual sort of numbers, and the funny thing is that he had his best ever year last year, but he was coming from a very depressing point of view where he wasn't actually happy with the work he was doing. So you can make all the money in the world just doing stuff that you don't really enjoy doing, that doesn't make you happy. So what's the point, really? Whereas I want to get fulfillment from my work, and I think most people do.
And having a place that you are now, although you're on your own on the desk out there, do you see that kind of vibe potentially happening? That you can come in and go, oh,
definitely,
this person there, they're doing that, I want to be involved in that.
Definitely. I think there's definitely the people here as well, at MediaCity to make that happen. There's so much innovation going on here. And if even just a fraction of that sort of makes its way onto this floor, then everyone will be excited, I think, yeah.
And do you think we are shouting enough about the indies, the small one-man bands that are based here? I mean, it's partly MediaCity, but partly about the North. The fact that we've got some of the stuff you've done is incredible, and I imagine not many people know it's done by you. They just, it was a JD thing.
Yeah. Well, no, it's early days, and I think a lot of people on the ground level think that way as well. You've got to build and take baby steps. But yeah, if there is a platform for smaller companies here and for startups and for individuals, that would be awesome. I'm fairly lucky. I've recently done the MediaCity docu-series, which I was pretty lucky to be a part of. Yeah,
I saw you looking very good. If you've not seen it, it's on the website at the moment with your hoodie on, walking moodily down the corridors.
Blue steel, in full force. No, I mean, I didn't expect to be asked to be showcased, and I'm pretty lucky to have got that opportunity. So yeah, if more opportunities can come like that for people at my level, then that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Docu-series produced by Immersive Eye, promoting young, exciting, new, interesting companies across MediaCity.
Yeah. Check it out.
And this man there looking very cool, walking down corridors moodily.
That's right.
Which I imagine is what you're doing all the time.
Yeah, every day. Yeah.
So, going back to when you first started, because you come across as a creative who wants to push the boundaries, yet you own your own company. How, for people who are creative, who are thinking, right, what the heck do I do? How do I make this bring money, pay my rent, pay my mortgage? How did you manage to make the switch between making stuff and making stuff that brought in, you could send out an invoice for? Yeah,
I mean, you have to put in the hard hours, like you really do. You can't think that this stuff comes for free. I did so many free jobs, like when I first started, and what does it get you 10,000 hours in, that sort of thing.
Did you have to work from home when you were doing that, or how did you?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of. I think, as you know, the podcast we're produced by grads, and they're coming out of university, and certainly in the media world. Oh, could you do that freelance? Oh, there's no payment. It's a heck of a conversation.
But I think
they're being paid for this, by the way.
Yeah, good point. No, I think it's more about creating the things you want to make, because a lot of the times I get hired. Especially in the early days when I was first freelancing, because I freelanced a couple of times before I actually made the jump into doing ThunderHawk, was I would get hired for the things that I made personally, not necessarily the things that I worked on. So
so the things that they'd seen you do?
Yeah. So it would be more like the music videos that I was doing off my own back. That sort of thing would be the thing that actually got me hired for jobs. Oh, can you make something like that for us? Not necessarily maybe the more corporate work that you do to sort of pay the bills early on. But it's all part of the process. I mean, one thing I did quite early on in my career was I got qualified as a project manager. I didn't necessarily know that the creative industry was going to work out for me. I don't think many people do when they first start. And so I wanted to sort of future-proof myself and just gaining those extra skill sets that help you operationally be organised and get things done on time and manage stages of a project or whatever. Anything that you can do to sort of buckle up your skill set. That's sort of what I was doing. I was just trying to invest in myself as much as I could, really.
You can never lose by being having project manager qualifications, can you really?
No, exactly. I mean, like I could have moved into like construction or something if I wanted to. I mean, I didn't really have the interest or the enthusiasm.
You could have built the thing that had the coat round it.
True. Yeah. Could have worked on the Big Ben redevelopment. Yeah.
But even this project management skill is completely cross. You can bring that all every day into the media world, can't you?
Exactly. So I feel like that's another thing that I lean on if I'm approaching something new that I've never done before, because I can get excited about something new, but then I can also apply those skills and being like, well, this is just another project, so you need to manage it the same way, figure it out the same way, and then hopefully you'll get the same result at the end, you know.
But the interesting thing from what you were just saying at the beginning of that is that a lot of the things where people saw work you'd done as a passion piece and gone, please make that for us. And it kind of shows, I don't know, that sometimes putting the work in on stuff you love and getting it out there. People have told us in the past that they've had videos up for 10 years, someone's seen it and said, could you do this for us?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it works with people as well. You know, you could meet somebody 10 years ago and then all of a sudden you get work from them. But I always wanted to make stuff that interests me. And I think if you do that enough, as well as putting in the hard yards, you then get to the point where you can do them both at the same time. So now I can work on stuff that I find exciting and get paid for it at a decent level, I guess. So, you know, if it's just all about following that path and trying to make those steps and strides.
Project managing it.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, who knew I would be a project manager? I wanted to be a rock star.
Well, what can you say to that? Thanks very much for coming on the podcast today. We're going to be speaking to some of the amazing, innovative businesses and people that are based at MediaCity over the coming weeks and showcasing some of the exciting talent, like you've been saying, that are based at MediaCity. And if you want to get in touch, please do so. This is MediaCity at 39pictures.com, and we'll see you next week. This is MediaCity is a 39 Pictures production on behalf of MediaCity and in partnership with the University of Salford. The production team is recent graduates from its MediaCity campus. They are Meg Bond, Tegan Easton, Akila Hewitt and James Young.